Section 5.3, Solving Multi-Step Inequalities. There is not an essential question for this lesson. Alright, so solve the inequality. So this time we have 7x minus 4 is greater than 3x minus 16. So that means we have a variable on both sides. So I always like to circle my variables. So 7x and 3x. The way that we get our variable on the same side is by subtracting or adding one of the variables to move it over. Now you could subtract 7x on both sides or 3x on both sides. I like to keep things positive, so I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. So 7x minus 3x is 4x. 3x minus 3x, that cancels. And then we have negative 16. Now my variable is right here, the 4x, so let's get rid of the minus 4 by adding 4 on both sides. Negative 16 plus 4 is negative 12. Divide both sides by 4, and we get x is greater than negative 3. Variables on the left-hand side. So we don't need to rewrite it, and we divided both sides by a positive 4, so we don't need to flip anything. All right, second example. 5x minus 3 is less than negative 2x plus 4. So circle both of your variables. They're on both sides again. Draw your train tracks. Let's get our variable on the same side. So we could either minus 5x on both sides or add 2x on both sides. So I'm going to add 2x to keep things positive. 5x and 2x makes 7x. Add 3 on both sides. Divide 7 on both sides. X is on the left, so we don't need to rewrite it. And we didn't divide by a negative, we divided by a positive 7, so we don't need to flip anything. All right, on this one we're going to see a number outside of the parentheses. So before we circle our variable, we need to distribute. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. Now I can go ahead and circle my variables and get them on the same side. So I can either add 2x to both sides or subtract 5x from both sides. Down to 8. 5x and 2x make 7x. So now our variable is 7x, so let's get rid of the negative 13 by adding. Divide both sides by 7. We have 3, and then the only thing we need to do on this one is rewrite it because our variable's on the wrong side. The mouth is opening to the 3, so have your mouth open up to the 3. X is less than 3 is our answer. All right, now we've got to distribute on both sides. So distribute on the left. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 6 is 12, and we have to distribute on the right. So negative 3 times 8 is negative 24, and then I would squeeze a 1 in between that negative and the x to make it a little easier. So negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3x. So now, let's get our variables on the same side. So to keep things positive, I'm going to subtract the 2x on both sides. Bring down our 12 greater than negative 24. 3x minus 2x is 1x. So now we just have to get rid of the 24 by adding it on both sides. So these make 0. 12 and 24 make 36. I don't have to divide on this one because x is already all by itself without a number in front except 1. So I just have to rewrite it to get the x on the left-hand side. Mouth is opening to the 36, so mouth should open to the 36. All right, the second part of this lesson is reviewing all of these words because we're going to have a couple word problems. So, our less than symbol is at the top. Then we have our greater than symbol. Then we have less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. Less than is the same thing as fewer than. Greater than is the same thing as more than. At least, if I have at least $5, that means I have $5 or more, so greater than. If I have at most $5, that means I have $5 or less, so less than or equal to. If I have no less than $5, that means I have $5 or more, so greater than. And if I have no more than $5, I have $5 or less, so less than or equal to. All right. So here is our first word problem. 2 more than half of a number is greater than 27. What could the number be? Now the acronym we use to do all of our word problems is SOUIE. S-O-U-I-E. S starts with, O is operation, U is unknown, I is inequality, and E is ends with. Alright, I always start with unknown because I think that's the easiest. That's always our variable. So what variable are we solving for? I'll just put an X in there. Inequality. The inequality in this problem is greater than. I know that it seems like it could be the more than as well, but more than in this situation is going to be addition. So we're going to put a plus there for more than. And then the other operation in this problem, because there's 2 of them, is the word of. Of in math means to multiply. So I'm going to put a comma and also put a multiplication symbol. Now remember, our starts with and our ends with are always numbers. So let's square all the numbers we see. 2, half is actually going to be a number, and then we have 27. So we have 2 and 1/2 here, and then the 27 will go down at the bottom. Let's try and write an inequality. I always still read from left to right my original problem when I'm writing my inequality. So don't just use what we put down for SOUIE. That just kind of helps us organize our information. So 2 more than, that'll be the 2 plus x, or excuse me, just 2 plus. So 2 more than half of a number. So half times a number, so 1/2 x is greater than, and then 27. Let me flip this over so I have a little more space. So 2 more than half a number, so 2 plus 1/2 x is greater than 27. All right, so let's solve this. Our x is the 1/2 x, so minus 2 on both sides. And then the way that we get rid of a fraction is by timesing by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1, or 2. So these cancel, And we have x is greater than 25 times 2, which is 50. So x is greater than 50. 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times the number plus 45. What could the number be? So let's write out SUI again. So our unknown is always x again. Our inequality this time is more than. So in the last problem, more than meant addition. This time, it's going to mean greater than. So that can get a little tricky. All right, we've got a lot of operations in this one. SUI is not going to work out perfectly for this, but it's still going to help us organize our information. So let's find all of our operations. We have minus, we have times, we have times again, and we have plus. So there are 4 operations in this problem. All right, let's go with our numbers. So we have the number 5. We have the number 6. And then after our inequality, we have the number 4. So that's actually going to go here because that's after the word more than, and then our 45. So this one's a tricky one. This is not an easy word problem. So let's read from left to right while we read this problem. So 5 minus 6 times a number, so 6 times x, is more than, greater than, 4 times the number plus 45. All right, let's solve this. So this is a problem where we have variables on both sides, so 6x and 4x. Let's subtract 4x on both sides to keep things positive. Oh wait, that would not keep things positive, I'm sorry. Let's add 6x on both sides to keep things positive. So then we have 5 is greater than 10x plus 45. So now 10x is our variable, minus 45 on both sides. Then we have negative 40 is greater than 10x. Divide both sides by 10. Since we're dividing by a positive, we don't have to flip. X, negative 4, and then we rewrite it. So x is less than negative 4. No summary on this one since there wasn't an essential question.